let's get rocking and rolling. Folks, what we're going to be going over today are the things that move the needle and the things that don't. What it comes down to, folks, first let's go over some important details. Does anybody know what the failure rate is in the first 2 years of residential real estate? Anybody? You hear me reference this all the time. All the time. Folks, if you are going in without a game plan, your first 2 years in residential, there is an 89% failure rate, right? Very close, Susan. Yeah. If in the commercial, okay, on the commercial side of things, it is a 97% failure rate, which means, folks, if you are going in to commercial without knowing how to do things, all right, folks, it's a bloodbath, right? It's a 3% chance of success. Would anyone go into a war if there was a 3% chance of success? Absolutely not. Not in a million years, okay? So what I'm here to do, guys, I'm going to give the select chosen few, okay, the chance to learn what actually works, all right? Folks, do me a favor. How many of you, type a me in the chat, capital M, capital E, if you guys are using social media to market your listings, right? Type of capital M, capital E if you're using social media. If you're using Facebook, if you're using Instagram, if you're using LinkedIn, if you're using any of those. Okay, Kevin's with me, Jan is with me, Lisa's coming, Lisa K is with me. Okay, anybody else? All right. Kevin sees. Okay, folks. Here, I'm about to break some news to you. All right, folks. Okay. What works on the residential side doesn't work on the commercial side because it's a different animal, right? And here's what I mean. On the residential side, think about it, folks. Okay. And by the way, if you're using social media on the commercial side to try to list properties and try to get stuff out there, okay, stop. You're wasting your time. Straight up wasting your time. In fact, go like this. Smack yourself on the hand just so you remember not to do it tomorrow. The reason being, on the residential side, what you notice is everybody likes to have a roof over their head. No one here likes to be homeless, right? So the point I'm making is everybody needs an apartment, a house, etc. Okay, so your market to market to on the residential side is literally every single person that wants to sleep in a dry bed under a roof. You with me, guys? They want to be warm in the winter. They want to be cool in the summer. Yeah. So the point is a one-to-many approach, which is exactly what social media is. You type a little message, you push a button, it goes out to 1,000 of your friends, followers, etc. Right? 10,000 of your friends, followers, etc. Right? That works in a one-to-many market. Residential real estate, one-to-many, all day, every day, for sure. However, let's think about this, folks. This is the proportion of people that want to have a roof over their head. Okay, sure. What about the amount of people that own commercial properties? What about the amount of people that are looking to sell those commercial properties in the next 3 or 6 or 9 months? You picking up what I'm putting down, guys? Okay, it's a sliver of the population. So if you think you're going to be able to buy leads, if you think that you're going to be able to go on Facebook or go on, Instagram or any of those things don't move the needle, guys. And what you'll notice is when it comes to working efficiently and effectively, okay, the most important thing I want you guys to understand is you get penalized for the things that you're doing wrong, that I should say that you're wasting your time in doing wrong. Here's what I mean, okay? We all have 24 hours in the day. Would you like to be spending all of your working hours doing something that's going to put money in your pocket? Type a yes or no in the chat, guys. Would you like to be spending all of your working hours, right, doing something that's going to actually make you money? Yes, Lisa's with me, okay? Yaneti, I guess you hate money, all right? But here's the thing, okay? What you'll notice is when you stop doing the wrong things, okay, and then you do nothing but the right things, folks, that's how you're able to 2x or 3x your business in a short period of time. Does that make sense? Because rather than 8 hours a day that you're spending, let's just say for argument's sake, and 4 hours of the day you're spending on stuff that doesn't really move the needle, and or maybe even 5 or 6 hours a day you're spending time on stuff that doesn't move the needle, and you go from spending 1, 2, 3 hours a day to 6, 7, 8 hours of the day. Can you see how you can 3x your business, guys? Okay. Yep. Yeah, no, I figured you misunderstood, Yannetti. Right. So guys, type 3x in the chat. If you can see, well, wow, I was just doing 3 hours of the right things, and now I'm going to stop doing the wrong things and do the right things all day. Can you see how it can 3x your business, guys? Okay. That's the most important part, folks. It's not just about, well, I'm doing some of the right things. No. You need to be doing all of the right things. Why? Because if you are not, you're wasting, you're taking time away from your effectiveness, right? You know, people look at like Elon Musk like he's some sort of alien, and he kind of is. But the reason why he's able to accomplish so darn much is he's doing the right thing a lot, and he's got huge teams in front of him. And yes, I know Tesla just laid off 10% of their workforce. Yes, I know they just slashed 15,000 jobs. I know that's just one of his 3 companies that he's currently working on, or if not more. I'm sure he's got more adventures than that. The point I'm making is, though, folks, you have to be doing all of the right things in this business. If you want to earn to your potential, 50% isn't good enough of doing the right things. 60% isn't good enough. 70% isn't good enough. You have to. How many of you want to reach 100% of their potential? Type 100% in the chat. All right. Show me what you got. Where you at? Where you at? 100%. Okay, cool. All right. Yep. Susan's with me. Yep. Susan's dialed in today. Love it. Love it. Okay. Unetti's with me. Good. Mariki's with me. Okay. 199. I love that. Yes. Yes. So folks, it isn't until we stop doing the wrong things and then start doing the right things on purpose that's where the magic happens, guys. Does that make sense, folks? Type an exclamation point if that's like a light bulb for you, okay? Because a lot of times we can kind of scratch the surface and tell me, I'll give you a symptom so that you know if this is you, okay? This is a fun one. How many of you guys have ever like something came into your lap and you were able to get it closed and you just weren't sure how to like repeat the magic, but you know that like if you got something, like you could get it across the finish line, right? You got a deal, you got a lease, you got a sale, right? Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever had that, where you did something right, you got a good result and you closed the deal. Okay. All right. Unetti's with me. Mariki's with me. Okay. Janet's with me. That's how you know you're in that place. Because it's only when you start doing the right things over and over again on purpose that you get a repeatable result. Does that make sense, folks? Type a heck yeah. All right, I want to make sure this is landing on you guys, okay? Because it's only when we start doing the right things on purpose that the magic happens. Okay, so how does this pertain to what we are doing in our marketing? All right, guys, do me a favor. Let's crowdsource a little bit of information here, guys. Type in the chat like your typical way that you would showcase a listing. Type it in the chat. How would you guys do it? Right? Oh, Janet's with me. Lisa's with me. Unetti. Cool. All right. What is your typical way of presenting a listing? Okay. Janet says LoopNet or CoStar. Good. Those are good ones. Okay. What else do we have, folks? Let's talk about what else. What else? Let's talk about your marketing collateral. Would you do flyers? Okay. Would you do offering memorandums? Would you do brochures? Would you do handouts? Like, what would that look like? Type it in the chat, guys. Yeah. Okay. Lakina says open house, social media. Good. Gary says Crexy. Good. Okay. All right. Offer it to investors. Yeah. Okay. How would you offer it to investors, Alex? All right. Let's type that in the chat. Let's get specific, guys, because I want everybody to understand what works and what doesn't, okay? Now, here's the thing, folks. I want you to understand the difference between active and passive. Does anyone here type a 1 in the chat if you've ever gone fishing, right? All right. Anybody know how like shrimp are caught? All right. Shrimp are caught because they have these big boats and they have a big arm that sticks out and they drop a net in the water and it catches whatever comes their way. Okay. Right. Have you ever seen like those lobster pots, right? Down here in South Florida, lobster season's a big thing, right? Basically what it comes down to, folks, you put something in there and you put a little bit of bait and the lobster gets into the trap and then you catch the lobster. Okay. It's very passive. Okay. It's very, very passive as opposed to going after something on purpose. So let's say you're hunting deer. Well, you know the migration patterns of white-tailed deer. You know the time of day that they feed. You know what they like. You're really not supposed to put bait out. But the point is, let's just say you wanted to catch a deer, you'd put some corn out, something that they like to eat, and then you go after that one specific animal, okay? The difference is one is very passive, the other is very active, okay? Now, guys, take a guess which one is more effective. Because yes, every broker with that can fog up a mirror, right? They're breathing and living. They're going to put it on LoopNet. They're going to put it on CoStar. They're going to put it on Crexi. Probably pop it on the MLS, right? Okay. Those are all passive because you know why? They have to go like the person that is your perfect avatar, your perfect buyer has to go to you, right? They have to go there and look for it. But what's better than that, or right, taking it one step further, going from passive to active, is putting it right in front of them on a silver platter. Okay. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. Now let's talk about what put something on a silver platter looks like. All right, folks, let's do a little example here. Can anybody tell me if I had a truckload of women's size 5 high-heeled red shoes, okay? Who would be the first person? How would you find buyers for women's size 5? Who's the most likely person to buy? Type this in the chat, folks. Who's the most likely person to buy women's size 5 red high heel shoes? Let's think a little bit of logic here, guys. See what you come up with. Come on. What you got? Dun, 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 dun. There are no wrong answers, so don't be afraid to pipe in, okay? Because I want to prove a very important point. I want you guys to understand, like, once you understand, like, the way to think about this, then the answers become obvious, okay? So, okay, Janet says women. Yep. Lisa says women. Good. That's a good start. Okay, let's take it a step further. Maybe women who are, okay, family and men and for spouse. Yeah, good, Mariki, good. Okay, all right, let's take it a step further. How about women who already wear high heel shoes, right? That makes sense because there's some women, right, that do not they like their flip-flops. They like their flats. They don't want to be uncomfortable, right? Right? I see Lisa smiling like, yeah. She's like, no high heels for me, right? So I get it. It's fine. My point is, and what I want you guys to understand is, when you're trying to find the most likely buyer for a very specific product, the person you should be in front of is the person that already buys that specific product. You with me, guys? Right? Type an exclamation point in the chat. I want that. I want to let me know if that's a light bulb for you guys. Okay. So I'm going to bring this around full circle to what this really means for real estate. So wait a minute. So if I have an 8-unit multifamily property in the northeast quadrant of town, folks, type in the chat who I should be going after. 8-unit multifamily northeast corridor of town. Type it in the chat, guys. Who do you think I should be going after? Okay. This is how marketing works, folks. Right person, right message, right time. With me, guys? Okay, so put it in the chat. All right. Boom. There we go. Susan says 8-unit owners. Heck yeah. Way to go, Susan. What else? People that already own 8 units. Okay. I would say probably 6 to 20. Okay. Buyers within the North area. Yes, Janet. Way to go. Yep. People in the geographical area. Current local investors. 8-unit multifamily owners. Yeah. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. This is how you go from being passive with your marketing to being active. Okay. It's one thing. I use this all the time, and guys you'll appreciate it. And so will you ladies, right? We were all young kids once, right? The guy wants to go ask a girl to the prom. Okay. What's the best way to ask her out? Is it to talk to her cousins and maybe she gets the message? Is it to talk to her best friend and see if she can put in a good word for me? Is it to graffiti it on a wall somewhere? Is it to get it sky written? Maybe she's outside, maybe she sees it, maybe she doesn't. Or is it to knock on the front door and ask the young lady to prom? With me, guys? Okay. Direct marketing. Okay. So what I'm trying to get to you guys is you have to put this thing in front of the right people with the right message and at the right time. Okay. The question then becomes, how do we do that? So glad you all asked. Okay. So I want you to write this right now. Okay. And I want, if you take anything away from this, I want to dismantle a belief. Okay. More is not more. Okay. How many of you guys in the last 15 years since the iPhone came out, okay, show of hands, all right, everybody, you know what, do me a favor, for like 30 seconds, everybody pop your cameras on. Show of hands with how many of you folks, since the iPhone has come out, that it has definitely impacted your attention span. You should raise your hand and be honest. It's definitely affected mine, right? I'm like watching TV and like flipping through stuff on Amazon, right? Like everybody here. Well, guess what? Everybody you're sending marketing information has the same issue, okay? It's societal. So what does that mean? Like, well, guess what? Those 30-page marketing memorandums, nobody reads them. The only people that read them are the marketing girl or guy that created them. Nobody cares about your 1, 3, and 5 mile radiuses. If they're a local investor, they already know that stuff. All right, folks, and the vast majority of the time, you're going to be dealing with local investors. So my point to all of you guys is less is more, okay? If you guys want an easy way to remember it, okay, next time you go to create a 30-page marketing memorandum, I want you to do this. I want you to take the biggest, fattest rubber band that you have, and I want you to stick it in your eye, all right? Because like, don't do that. Nobody cares. Nobody wants that stuff. I'm a huge believer that you can sell big properties, and I can prove it. I sold like a 12, almost $13 million property with like a 3-page flyer just a couple years ago, right? You don't need that much, okay? What you do need is, to quote Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. And I'm about to show you guys what that looks like, all right? So what I want you guys to understand, let's see, let's flip through. Here's something that I sold, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, right? This is one that's pretty sweet, guys, all right? This is one that I double-ended, all right? So all you need, folks, all right, okay, it's very, very simple, is a very, very simple one picture. You need a little map overlay, okay? You need the title. You need the price. You need to know what it is. You need to know what the address is. Guess what, folks? Everybody has Google, okay? People will find it if they're interested. You need square footage, maybe some zoning information, the year that it was built, 5 or 6 bullet points, okay? You need to have, now don't be, okay, anyone here ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Anybody? You know who Robert Kiyosaki is? Okay. Robert Kiyosaki is a cool, really interesting dude, right? A great book. If you haven't read it, go out and read it. Okay. But one thing that that always stuck with me is, do you guys remember? Okay. I'm going to date myself right now. Like when I was like, okay, a kid, I remember being about 7 years old in like 1982 or 3. Remember those Velcro wallets, everybody? Remember those Velcro wallets? Okay. Robert Kiyosaki was going to get rich and make his first millions selling Velcro wallets. So he went out, bought a whole bunch of them, put all of his money together and put an ad in whatever local magazine, whatever. And guess what he forgot? He forgot to put his contact information at the bottom, folks. Okay. He's like, man, I spent all my money on this advertisement. Guess what? He didn't make $1 million selling Velcro wallets. The point I want to make, guys, is always, 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 even if you have it twice, put your contact information in there. All right, folks? So again, you need a one-pager. You need someone to make the decision. The whole purpose of any of your marketing, and as an example, guys, this is a $5 million that I sold, a $5 million building that I sold and double-ended, okay? I made multiple 6 figures on the commission on this one, okay? With the one pager, okay? Anyone that tells you you need 30 pages or 40 pages, throw rocks at them. They don't know what they're talking about. Or they work for one of those huge companies, which will remain nameless, and they have a senior broker on staff, a junior broker on the same team. They have an analyst. They have a marketing girl. They have a this. They have a blah, 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 blah. And guess what? The commission gets chopped up so many different ways that none of them make multiple 6-figure commissions on a deal that size. You with me, guys? Okay. I'm going to show you where the rubber meets the road and what actually works, not what is common. Because remember, what's right isn't always popular, and what's popular isn't always right. What works isn't always popular, and what's popular doesn't always work. Okay, throw out the 30 and 40 page offering memorandums. At most, you need a couple of pages. All right. The point I want to make, guys, is you just need the facts. You need what the price is, what you're selling. You need to know what the address is. You need a picture, maybe two. Guys, these iPhones, okay, the newer ones, like, in the last 5 years, this thing's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old, right? They have better cameras than than like the professional cameras from 5 or 10 years ago, right? I remember, like, I'm like a hobby photographer, right? And like the camera that I bought that was like the bomb in like 2012 or 13, right? This camera has like twice the resolution. The point is, folks, people are like, oh, I need to hire a professional photographer. No, you don't. Save your money. All right. Save your money to buy your client a bottle of champagne when you close their property, because all you need is a very, very simple template. Okay. You don't need to invest in like RealNext so you can create new flyers every time. Go to Fiverr, spend $20 and have someone create a marketing template for you. Okay. You don't need that much. Okay. What I think people are doing is they're majoring in their minors. They're like, oh man, I'm going to put every single detail about this and that. No, you don't need all that crap. What you need is someone that says, you know what, this is for me or this is not for me. That's all you need. You need, like, it's like a litmus test. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. So again, what I want everyone to understand is you can sell huge properties. You can make a lot of money with a one-page flyer. Okay. If any of you do anything, you don't need build out. Anybody know what build out? Anybody familiar with build out? Raise your hand. Does anybody know the price of build out? I priced it 8 years ago, and it was $300 per person per month. Okay. Yeah. Go to Fiverr, get some dude from Pakistan to create you. That's what I did. This was like $35. And I got this, and I got like a Just Sold or something like that. I made it at the same time. Guys, be creative, save your money. You don't need all the fancy stuff. What you do need is the right message. Write this down, folks, to the right person and at the right time. If you're selling size 5 red high heels, get a flyer showing size 5 red high heels. Perfect for the lady who wants to be in style, whatever, right? You with me, guys? Okay. So again, you want the basic facts. You want a picture, a decent resolution. Your iPhone is plenty good for a picture. Maybe you want to have an aerial. I have an aerial map on all of my flyers. Okay. And 5 or 6 bullet points, and don't make the same mistake that Robert Kiyosaki made. Okay. He's made up for it. Okay. He's made millions and millions. But I tell you what, I guarantee you anything he's doing now has his name and contact information on it. You with me, folks? Okay. That is all for today. Number 1, make sure you're doing more of the things that move the needle and less of the things that don't. It's only when we start doing the right things at the right time on purpose that we really see our businesses improve drastically. Okay, folks? If you guys want drastic improvement in your business, type the word drastic in the chat. And remember, folks, you don't need to be super verbose. You don't need to have so much detail. What you do need, you need to give the people the right amount of information in your marketing so they decide whether it's worth a phone call or not. It's worth a text or not. It's worth a tour or not. Okay, folks? So please make sure you take something that you learned today and implement it tomorrow. If you guys only come here and drink up the information, but there's no implementation, guys, it's a big fat goose egg. I have a 991 rule, okay? And it's very, very simple. 9% information and 91% implementation. Guys, these things, they have all the answers to the entire universe in them, okay? But if you just drink in the information and you don't do anything with it, you're never going to make a dime. So take something you learned today and implement it tomorrow. Maybe you take your marketing package and you cut it down, right? Because it's a waste of time anyhow. Maybe you start putting properties in front of the right person. Maybe you go into CoStar. I don't know, guys, for those of you that have listings, maybe you go into CoStar and pull a list of all the people that bought in the last 24 months around one of your listings, and you pick up the phone and you call them. Guys, first time I fell in love with CoStar, guess what I did? I pulled a list just like that. And I called 70 people, and one of those people bought the building. And I made an additional $60,000 on like a $4.2 million listing. That's when I fell in love with CoStar, guys. Okay. Start getting creative. Start thinking outside the box. If you do what everyone else does, you'll get what everyone else gets. Okay. I know none of you are here to be average. Okay. So start thinking outside the box. Start doing things a little bit differently. All right, folks. So thank you so much for being here. Have a great week, guys. Good to see you all.